Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome into yet another edition of the Rockstar Report. Yeah, I haven't been live. I haven't been posting anything. I haven't posted any content. Reason why? Well, because I've been absolutely sick for the past two basically since Monday night. It really started Monday night. And then finally kind of got over the hump yesterday. Slept past 2 days. So that's the reason why I haven't been live. So it is what it is. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. We're going to talk a lot more than what the title says today. Like, the title is the main topic today, but there are a couple things that I do want to discuss going forward today, because let me see something. Hold on, I just got a message. I just got a big message. I just got a really big message, actually. I will tell you here shortly. I'll tell you what it is here shortly. I just got a major message. Oh, okay. Sorry. So, anyways, I've been sick, and so we came back, and TMC the Dawn. I'm assuming that's Mad Chatter. Conbred, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all joining. What's up, Doug's in the chat too. So appreciate everyone. If you're not following him, go do so. Him and Prime. Go check both of their channels out if you haven't already. Oh, excuse me. So it's been rough, man. It's been coming out of both ends. Just so y'all know, it was a stomach bug. It was coming out of both ends. Sorry to be a little, maybe that might be a little bit too much for some of you guys, but hey, here we are. Here we are. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So I want to talk about this real quick. Sorry, guys, if I'm lagging a little bit. I got a lot of shit open on my computer right now. All right. Trying to pull up my damn thing I was trying to pull up here. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter what I pull up. It is what it is. I kind of want to get to this image right here. Perfect. All right. So I want to start off talking about this. All right. I want to start off talking about the Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte's crown jewel, is getting this final royal makeover. So, ladies and gentlemen, gather around. I want you to prepare the witness, the grand transformation that we're hearing about the Carolina Panthers home turf. Now, late Sunday night, that was a spectacle that had all the drama of really kind of like a fourth quarter comeback, if you think about it, right? No pun intended here. I mean, Charlotte City Council voted in favor of the $800 million renovation plan for the stadium, right? A nail-biting 7-3 vote. And now we're getting a beloved sports venue. Not till 2046, it sounds like, right? Which I'm going to be 50 plus years old. To me, for us fans like myself, who's been a fan since I can remember, right? I think I became a fan when my dad took me to I'll tell you this. The first time I became a Panthers fan, my dad was a Steelers fan. He took me to a Panthers Steelers preseason game. I fell in love then, but I fell in love even more when Stephen Davis was around and Deshaun Foster, those guys, because I love the running backs. For some reason, I loved the running back position growing up. And then as I got older, when I could understand the game more, then it was like, oh, I love the quarterback position and stuff like that. So, but for me as a fan, and when we're talking about this stadium renovation thing, right? I don't got any breaking news today, no, unfortunately. When it comes to the Bank of America Stadium, I would have rather them just done some upgrades, right? Update some things, and update the facilities. Adam Thielen mentioned that our facilities are atrocious, and I just would have much rather them just update some things instead of just doing all of this, right? That's what I would have much rather them done. But that, it is what it is. All right. But again, the financial breakdown of this, the city's shelling out like $650 million, while Tepper Sports is going to contribute $150 million, right? To me, that's like splitting a dinner bill where that one friend orders the lobster tail and the other a salad. But again, let's not dwell on that, right? The end goal here is to revamp the stadium. I get that. You want to dazzle fans and players to come here. And I think that's definitely going to do it, but I still think you need to renovate not only the stadium, but you need to renovate the facilities around it. And I would do that sooner rather than later, because even Adam Thielen's come out and said how bad our facilities are. The renovation plan reads like a wish list for every sports fan. Picture this: new seating that makes even nosebleed section feel like a VIP lounge, an upgraded sound system that ensures you feel every beat of the halftime show in your chest, video board so clear you'll see every blade of grass, and reimagined the south lawn pavilion area. That's the perfect fit for pregame festivities. It's an essential sports cathedral in the making, for sure. I think another thing is too about the stadium thing is that I don't think this team deserves a new stadium. Honestly, I don't. 2-15 season doesn't read to me, oh yeah, let's renovate the stadium. That's going to fix the problem. It's not. Another thing is instead of having turf, let's get back to the grass fields. But again, that issue is with the turf field, the soccer players prefer turf than grass. But again, that's the thing that's been the issue here too, is that what's bringing in more money, the football team or the soccer team? It seems like the soccer team is, because they fill up that stadium more than they do in the football games, from my understanding. But, despite all this excitement, that proposal didn't sail through without some serious debates. Councilman Malcolm Graham, he voiced his concerns, drawing parallels to the unfulfilled projects that Tepper, the Rock Hill project, right? Then I think her name is Tawana Brown. She was one of the three dissenting votes. Didn't mince words at all about her skepticism. She was bluntly honest and brought kind of a refreshing, if not slightly ominous perspective to the proceedings. So, I mean, they had some fair points. I will say, when you go read some of the fair points that they made about this proposal to the stadium, they made some fair points, right? And I agree with you. I would move it to a different location. You can keep it in Charlotte, just move it into a different location where it's less congested. But I think that's kind of hard to do, though, when you're in a big city you're in a city like area like Charlotte is. But on the other side, you got Jonathan Stewart coming in. He gave his pep talk that would make. I wanted to run through a brick wall when I heard him speak, right? And what he said. His speech was a rally cry. Let's be honest. Talk about unity, talking about the community spirit, the city's proud nickname, the Queen City. His words were a reminder that this isn't about bricks or mortar. It's about the heart and soul of Charlotte, right? That Tepper touch, though, there was still that Tepper touch because after the proposal was approved, Tepper released a statement read like a love letter to the city, basically, right? If y'all haven't seen it. And which he did, which is, I need to pull up the Discord. I think that it is in the Discord, the love letter that he sent. Yeah, it's right here. So this is the nice little love letter that David Tepper. Obviously, his statement, I would say, exuded some optimism and definitely envisioned that the stadium not only meets but exceeds the needs of the community, players, and fans for years to come. Yeah, I think it's clear that Tepper is all in on this project for sure. He's envisioning a venue that will stand the test of time, hopefully this well executed game plan to turn this team around under Dave Canales and Dan Morgan. But the road ahead to these renovations is set to begin next year. So the project design is to keep the Panthers in Charlotte for the next 20 years, right? That is a long-term commitment to Aiken, a signed franchise quarterback to a massive contract. That's basically what it is, right? It's the same parallel there. It's about stability, future growth, obviously making sure that the Panthers' roar echoes through the Carolinas for decades to come, which we all want, right? So here's the thing. As construction begins, which in the next couple of years, I don't know why I said 2020, why I thought 2026 was next year. So next 2 years, Bank of America will emerge not just as a home for football and soccer, but as a beacon of Charlotte's dedication to excellence and the committed community spirit. The Queen City needs this, I do believe, as a whole and as a city, right? And they need the Panthers there because they've been here for how long, right? If they can match the off-field victory with some on-field success, then they might have something truly special on its hands as time goes forward. I say. I think in the end of all of this, I think the renovation isn't just about upgrading a stadium. It's about investing in a future where sports continue to unite and inspire a city. It's about ensuring that every game, every cheer, every touchdown is felt with intensity, passion that defines the city of Charlotte, right? I think it's going to be worth every penny, but I still kind of feel in the way that I would much rather them just do upgrades than a full renovation. And then by the time that full renovation is done, I'm going to be 50 plus years old. Right. So that's the reason why. Right. That's the reason why. Few block ups. There's no buildings. Round of applause of Adam Thielen. If out stadium the most garbage or Commanders? Are you saying which stadium's the most garbage? I don't know. Charlotte's growing already, one of the biggest cities. Is Tever take Panthers out? We'll get another franchise fast. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the most growing cities for sure. It's definitely one of the most growing cities for sure. I mean, it's just like where I live, and what's 2 hours away from me is growing too. You know, we where I live and in Charleston, South Carolina, it's one of the most growing cities. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where I live, is one of the most top 5, top 10 growing cities in the United States. Same thing with Greenville, South Carolina, and same thing in Charleston, South Carolina. So the Carolinas are growing because everybody from up north is moving down. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody from up north is moving down. Everybody from up north wants to move down here. So by the way, guys, just want to give you a quick shout out to the NFC roundtable. If you NFC South roundtable, I'm going to be starting again. That's going to be coming out because Roundtable Sports, if you haven't heard about them, they are coming out here soon. We should be having our first episode coming out here soon. And then also I'm going to be hopefully hosting an NFL news show with them Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. EST. I'm also going to be doing, I think, picks and prediction show Wednesdays from 6 to 7. All right. So hopefully I'll be, I told them I wanted to do the NFL news show from 5 to 6, and I wanted to do the Wednesday show from 6 to 7. So hopefully we'll be able to, I'll be able to get that done. We're stopping for the night in Florence tomorrow on the way to Florida. Nice. Colin Brad. There's not much there. Florence is all right. I think they're trying to upgrade Florence, honestly, Colin. I think they're trying to upgrade Florence a lot, actually. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get into this roster real quick. I want to talk about the wide receiver group. So we're going to use PFF real quick. So this is our wide receiver room as of right now. Okay. When it comes to here's the thing. When it comes to this team in the past game, I think that there's been this like universal hope echoing through Charlotte. I mean, it can't be worse than what we witnessed in 2023, right? After all, last season was a comedy of errors featuring Bryce Young running for his life, passing attack as threatening as a wet noodle, with 62 sacks and a mere 11 touchdown passes over 16 games. So it's safe to say that things were less Carolina Panthers and more like Carolina. What's the word I'm looking for? Pantomimes. I guess that is that even a word? It was atrocious, right? The only lone bright spot last year was Adam Thielen, right? If you're looking at his stats. I mean, Thielen was the sole beacon of our wide receiver room. He was the only guy that was reliable, right? He was like, I guess the best thing I could compare it to is like a sturdy umbrella in a torrential downpour, right? He was the only consistent option for Bryce Young last year. DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo, They had their moments, but they were as fleeting as a solar eclipse in Seattle. They never truly made opposing defenses break a sweat. You bring in Dan Morgan, who has revamped this wide receiver and tight end room. But even with these upgrades, the pass catchers have more to prove than a high school valedictorian at a college entrance interview. Okay. So you got these newcomers. You got to mix a bag of hope and fears, right? So you bring in a guy like Deontay Johnson, okay? Represents an improvement over last year's motley crew. But let's be honest here. Okay? Let's be honest here. His career has been more of a roller coaster than a rocket ship, right? Okay? He's known for his issues. He's had some drop issues, but he has hit a 1,000 mark only just once in his career. But his separation rate is top in the NFL, right? So he's suddenly going to morph into this primary target for a sophomore quarterback who still is finding his NFL legs. I think that's like asking a cat to fetch a stick. Possible, but it's most likely unlikely. All right. So then we go over to, I think, a fan favorite and one of my favorites, of course, Xavier Legette. All right. Or Leggett, whatever you all want to call him. All right. A guy who's going to become a human highlight reel, I think, in the making. Big, fast, strong, versatile, right? Sounds like an ideal wide receiver, right? But until we see him actually play a game, right, in action, right, in the NFL, his potential remains a hypothetical as a unicorn in Central Park. Let's be honest, right? We heard similar hype about Jonathan Mingo last year from a different coaching staff. Look how that turned out. More than fizzled and sizzle, in my opinion, right? And then you've got guys like the familiar faces, or I would say the wild cards, right? So Terrace Marshall Jr. He seems stuck in an essential crisis ever since he's gotten here. If he doesn't shine in preseason, he might find himself on the next bus out of here, right? Meanwhile, you look at Amir Smith-Marset, offers more value, in my opinion, as a returner than a receiver. And then you have David Moore. He's more like a spare tire on a trunk, handy in emergencies, but not something you're going to rely on long term, right? So then the $1 million question is, so here we are, starting a wide receiver corp that looks better on paper, but feels like a deck of wild cards. So if Legette lives up to his potential and Johnson can overcome his drop issues and Thielen can continue to be Mr. Reliable, we know Bryce Young might have enough weapons to turn the tide. However, if Legette or Johnson falter, we'll return here next year scratching our heads, wondering what went wrong, right? I think that the Panthers wide receiver group is a compelling mix of potential. It's like walking a tightrope with a safety net made of Swiss cheese. Exciting, yet nerve-wracking. The success of this motley crew, I think, rests heavily on the shoulders of its new additions and their ability, honestly, to adapt and thrive. And if they do, Bryce Young might actually finally have an arsenal to lead a potent offense. If not, well, there's always next year. One thing I think is for sure that the 2024 season promises to be anything but boring for the Carolina Panthers and this wide receiver room. It's going to be a show. I think that we're going to see what we have here because there is a lot of potential, but there's a lot of unknown, man. There's a lot of unknown. So, guys, make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It supports the channel a lot, whether you're watching on Twitter or Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, we're new over there. I appreciate it if you drop a follow there. Guys, also go to my Facebook page. It's just the Ropp Star Report. Make sure you go over there, like and follow as well, because I'd like to start streaming back on the Facebook page. For some reason, I'm having issues, but I'll have to reconnect that. So make sure you do follow me there on the Facebook. You're not forced to do so, guys. I'm not forcing you, but it does help out a lot. And feel free to join the Discord. It is for free. Everything's for free on my channel, except the fact that unless you want to become a member, and that's really cheap too. It's like $2 a month. So if you want to become a member, feel free to do so. All right. I'm not going to beg you or force you. No one's got a gun to your head. Marcos just re-upped his membership. Appreciate that, Marcos. I really appreciate you, man. Marcos has been a day one, man. He's been a day one. He's been
because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy.
He's straight up, man. You know?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So shout out to Marcos Cash for that. Shout out to Marcos Cash for that.
And his name is John Cena.
Appreciate that, Marcos. Appreciate that. And his name is John Cena. Clay with the king of the analogies. Dude, I can make analogies and puns all day long. All right. I can make analogies and puns all day long. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. Let's continue. I got some more to talk about here. Let's get to let's talk about JC Horn here. Let's talk about JC Horn real quick because I think it's a make or break season for JC Horn, guys. I'm going to say it here and now. It's a make or break season. And it's a make or break season if this guy can stay healthy. And he can stay healthy for 14, 15 games, right? I mean, then, picking up his fifth-year option makes sense. I mean, this season is shaping up to be, I think, a nail biter for this guy, right? We got his fifth-year option. They're keeping him here until 2026. His future with the team is more, to me, his future with this team is more uncertain than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, right? The talent is undeniable, but staying healthy has been like trying to catch a greased up pig, slippery and elusive, right? Right? So let's get one thing straight about JC Horn here, okay? He has all the makings of an elite corner. He's got the size, the athleticism, the ability to mirror routes. He's got the physics, the hotline. He's got the work ethic. That would make a beaver look lazy. He's the rub, tug. He's got it all. He can do it. He just can't stay healthy, right? He's only played 22 games in 3 seasons. The fewer games than there are letters in JC Horn's injury report, right? JC Horn's health has been a recurring nightmare to this defensive room, especially under new head coach Dave Canales. With a cornerback depth chart let's go back and look at that depth chart. Let's go look at that cornerback depth chart. It's thin. It's thinner than a supermodel on a juice cleanse. I told you I could make analogies up all day. I got them. My father was an analogy guru. That's where I learned all these from, right? The Panthers need Horn to stay on the field and show off his shutdown skills, because when he is on the field, he can, and he does, and everybody raves about him when he is on the field, right? I mean, Horn's been hitting the gym this offseason, right? He's on it, and he's been hitting the gym like he's on a New Year's resolution, right? He's tweaked his training regimen, trying to hopefully ward off these pesky injuries that he continues to get. The Panthers we're banking on him to lead this secondary, especially after shredding some key defensive players in this offseason. Dan Morgan has his eyes on the waiver wire, ready to swoop up like a hawk on a field of mice if necessary. So that's great. But while Morgan believes in Horn, having a plan B to me never hurts anyone, especially when you're not even sure plan A is going to work out. So for JC Horn, this season it's a walking tightrope, right? He's walking a tightrope over a pit of alligators, right? His talent is clear as day. The problem is his durability has been about as dependable as a chocolate teapot. We've been leaning on him heavily to anchor this defense ever since he's got here, especially this corner room. Whether his body can keep up the ambitions and the $1 million is the $1 million question. The stakes, I think, for him can't be even higher, especially with the fact that they picked up his fifth-year option. But if JC Horn can stay healthy and perform, he could secure a sweet extension, a nice signing contract. And if not, I think we're going to find ourselves in a subject of trade rumors faster than you can say fifth-year option. I'm just saying, I think it's make or break. No, he's not on IRL. Damn. Fans' expectations might be higher than Steakhouse Bill. You might be right. You might be right, my friend. You might be right, Matt Chatter. I just think it's make or break for JC Horn this year. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to. He's got to. So I want to talk about this Carolina Panthers coaching staff. Guys, as you are continuing through the live stream, make sure you pound the like button. Get in the chat. That's all I ask. Feel free to get in the chat. Love to hear y'all's thoughts as we're going through this. We're just talking about a bunch of different things. And so on and so forth. So I want to talk about this coaching staff real quick. Because I think the secret sauce to the Carolina Panthers this year is this coaching staff. Okay? I think it's this coaching staff by far. I think this coaching staff is the secret sauce because coaching changes are in the NFL are as common as quarterback sneaks on 4th and inches. The Carolina Panthers, I think, have discovered a rare gem, which is called continuity, which we haven't had here. Right? We got this under this new leadership of Dave Canales, right? Right? And the Panthers coaching staff is I think is going to be, it's almost going to be like a harmonious symphony. You just because of the familiar faces and the shared histories here, right? I think this orchestration promises to transform a team that desperately needs a steady hand at the helm. Here's the thing. Dave Canales isn't just a run-of-the-mile hire from Tampa Bay coaching roster. He's the conductor who has brought along his trusted, I would say staff, team, whatever you want to call it, who they are all on the same page. They are synchronized together, right? That was the first brilliant move that Dave Canales did. He brought a coaching staff in that actually, I feel like, had the same beliefs, but also were all on the same page, I guess you could say. Or I guess that's the same thing, but we're all on the same page, right? Right? You bring in your offensive coordinator, Brad Ezick. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. His partner in crime from Buccaneers and Seattle days. It's kind of like reuniting Batman and Robin, right? All right. But Canales didn't stop there, right? He recruited Harold Goodwin, right, at the run game coordinator. He brought in Joe Gilbert down there, as you can see, the guy that looks like he would drink a couple beers with you and then cuss you out. But the offensive line coach, both comrades for Tampa Bay. from his Seattle days, he brought in special teams coordinator. Where's he at? Tracy Smith. There he is. Tracy Smith. And then he brought in pass game coordinator Nathan Carroll, right? And then, of course, which is, if you don't know, Nathan Carroll is, if I'm not mistaken, that is Pete Carroll's son. And then they brought in tight end coach Pat McPherson. This coaching staff isn't just a collection of names. I feel like it's a reunion tour of coaches who know each other's playbooks like the back of their hands, right? They speak the same language, right? Bryce Young, right, who might as well be studying for a PhD in offensive systems, has found this like continuity, right? Right. So imagine being in a foreign country and suddenly you find a group of people who speak your native tongue, right? Let's say you're in Germany, like if we go to Germany and you're like, holy shit, you can speak English. That's because we're fucking from the United States too. I don't know. Just trying to give an example here. That's what this coaching staff continuity feels like, right? You meet someone out that you're in a foreign country, like I said, and you find a group of people that are just like you visiting, right? Same lingo for that. Like, for example, with these guys, same offensive lingo, same strategic nuances, same understanding of other cues. It's like they've all been studying the same playbook in a secret football monastery, right? The whole thing is that the master plan here with Canales is that he trusts these guys, right? They are setting the stage for a season that could be a masterclass in coordination and efficiency. It's not just about having good coaches. It's about having coaches who operate like a well-oiled machine. And this group could lead to more unified, effective team performances, something that we've desperately needed after last season, right? Canales' previous success stories, of course, is the turning points of Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith and working with Russell Wilson, right? It gives us reasons to be optimistic, right? If we sprinkle some of that coaching fairy dust on Bryce Young, the Panthers might have something here to work with, right? Because in the NFL, like I said, these coaching changes, they change very, very often. It happens every year. They finally have chosen a path of continuity and cohesiveness. Dave Canales is at the helm, a coaching staff that knows each other like the back of their hands. The Panthers have a stability and improvement, I think, in this coaching staff. And everybody last year thought, oh, well, we've got the Avengers. Yeah, and those Avengers turned on each other and they were snitching and we had rats and we had everybody talking to the quarterback and everybody's beliefs were different. But now Bryce Young and the rest of this roster can now focus on actually playing football because they actually have a confident coaching staff that are all on the same page. I don't think I got to talk. I haven't talked about, I haven't really talked about the coaching staff this year, but I felt like it was something I needed to say, and get off my chest. Vietnam comes in and says, if we win 6 games or more, that is a success for this year, for sure. It sucks that we have to say that, though, Vietnam, because that's like below average, right? That's like below average. It sucks that, like, as us Panthers fans, we feel that 6 wins or more, then that is a successful year. It sucks because we should be saying, well, 10 wins is a successful year or 11 wins is a successful year. Hell, I would even say 9 wins is a successful year. But we going from a 2-15 team, yes, I would I do agree. It just sucks that we have to sit here and say 6 wins or more is a successful year. It sucks. It sucks. RAHC and OC are on the same page, unlike last year. Wright was on page 20 and T Brown was on page 83, right? What? I didn't know that Darren Bates was on our coaching staff. Yeah, man. Where was Darren Bates? There he is. Yep. Damn, Jessica Beckenstein, head coach assistant, coaching of operations management. What's up, girl? She bad. Sorry. She kind of bad. Let's see what else. We know. I mean, we've seen everybody on here. Jonathan Cooley, D'Angelo Hall, Evero. Capers is still coaching. God, he looks old. But I think what's the key here? You know, is like what's the key? I think the thing is for Dave Canales though is like, you know, this was a great question that was brought up on Twitter. I think that I want to talk about. I saw it the other day. I think it was actually something that Joe or David Newton. So David Newton, obviously, I think he posted this. I think this is an article, but it was an interesting question that I thought should be answered. What's the key to Coach Dave Canales' plan to fix the Panthers? I mean, I think that when it comes to this is, well, remember when they were talking about him doing yoga with Jonathan Cooley? I think that's one thing, right? Dave Canales, who spot this more than a chance to break a sweat. He has the golden opportunity to forge relationships. So he tries to build relationships with the coaching staff. The first impressions last, right? First impressions last, I would always say. And I think Dave Canales definitely nailed his, right? On the first day of the offseason workouts, if we remember, he stood at the stadium entrance, greeting every player by name, or at least trying to arm the weeks of studying headshots like a yearbook editor, or and he looked like he was on a caffeine binge. You know, he managed an impressive 85 to 90% recognition rate. He kept it up for over a month, showing the players his dedication. And it wasn't just like a flash in the pan. All right. But Canales doesn't stop at names. As I've watched him and we've watched these blueprints, we've watched these conferences, these interviews, he strategically positions himself around the stadium, turning chance encounters into relationship building moments, whether it's a name drop, a handshake, a fist bump, or full on hug. He's all about personal touches, right? And when it comes to the secret sauce, like we were just talking about with this coaching staff, I think for one thing we need to harp on Canales is his self-awareness. It isn't just a buzzword. He wants the players to tell their stories and believe that understanding their journey, their struggles, to help them achieve their goals. That philosophy was what he learned from Pete Carroll, who pushed Canales to see the whole field, right? Remember when he was talking about Pete Carroll saying, see the whole field? That's what it means. It's not just about one position group, right? So when you take Bryce Young, for instance, during a pre-draft chat, Young impressed Canales by articulating a subtitle about critical adjustments he made in this play. So that level of detail and awareness is precisely what Canales looks for, right? Think about the NASCAR bonding experience, what they did, right? You know, before the mandatory mini camp, it wasn't about, it wasn't about scouting future NASCAR talent. It was about them, a team bonding, right? Those things aren't always the case, because under previous coaches, Frank Wright and Matt Rule, what did they do? Right? There was a lack of harmony at the top of the, trickle down to the locker room. There was just nothing, right? There was just nothing there. So I think that's one thing that people don't really talk about. Yeah, I've seen that interview. I think that's one thing that just people don't talk about with Dave Canales. They don't harp on the fact that he tries to get personal with not just the players, the coaching staff, but I think everybody just talks about how football smart he is. But yeah, that's great and all, but he also gets very personal and gets, wants to get to know you as a person, not just who you are on the field, right? He takes it beyond the football field. So that's something I wanted to harp on today and appreciate, because I don't think a lot of people talk about that. So it gives us a lot of reasons to be optimistic, right? Because you got a whole aligned vision with that coaching staff. You got this, right? You got a whole aligned vision with this coaching staff, right? It's not like it doesn't resemble a dysfunctional family anymore, right? Not everyone is getting pulled in different directions, right? There's prominent figures. David Tepper seems to have finally taken a back seat, right? And now Dan Morgan and Dave Canales are now being this dynamic duo, right? So they finally have just introduced this clear vision. It's an aligned vision for the future. Everybody's on the same page, because it was let's be honest, it's been complete disaster under Matt. It was complete disasters under Matt Rule and Frank Wright, right? This guy and what Dan Morgan, I feel like, have done, brought in a breath of fresh air. I think it's something that we all can finally actually get behind. It's not like, I don't think that, because these guys aren't going to be going for mediocrity, right? Dave Canales believes that we can win the division now. And I appreciate that. But I ain't that optimistic as a fan. All right, let's get into the final topic of today's live stream. Let's get into today's final topic. Now, NFL.com came out, and PFF came out with the list too. But they came out with this list in regards to breakout players, right? And that kind of has to do with the title of today, the resurgence of Bryce Young, right? From rookie turmoil to potential breakout star. All right. So let's go over to next gen stats. All right. So let's go to passing. All right. We're going to talk about time. We'll just go based off time to throw. I don't know how high up Bryce is going to be on this list. Let's do it again. Okay, so there's Bryce right there. Marcos, thanks for posting that in the Discord, by the way. And I've already seen that podcast. It's great. It's great. Hi, Jen. Hi, I'm so late. Hi, fellas. No worries. You're good. You're good. So if you could see Bryce Young, I wonder if I could just zoom in on this. But then if I do that, then you can't. Here's the thing. If I zoom in on that, then I can't go back up to the top. I wonder does he have a high efficiency on anything that kind of puts him at the top? Not really, I guess. It's all right. It's all right. Anyways, maybe I'll use PFF instead. Let's use PFF. What we got in the Discord? Okay, Marcos, I just got it, man. I just got that message. Okay, let's go to Bryce here. Let's go to Bryce here. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to share my screen. Use PFF here. Perfect. Why did it go to Andy Dalton? No. Let's say go to Andy Dalton. So go to Bryce. There we go. Okay. I wonder if we can. What do we got for premium stats for him? Nothing? They don't have any premium stats for him? There ain't no way. Okay, thank you. That snaps by position. Offensive. Okay. Share this tab instead. Perfect. Okay. So this is tough. This is rough. Kind of want to use this. Let's see here. Offensive grade chart. Could go with this instead. All right, let's just use this for example. All right, let's just use this for example. Okay. Bryce Young's rookie is going from, I feel like he's going from a rookie blues to maybe a potential superstar. All right. And I say maybe with a very, very big maybe. Right. Because in the world of the NFL, there are a few tales that have the drama and the twisty turns like Bryce Young's rookie season. He was snagged number 1 overall, Heisman Trophy winner out of Alabama. He's supposed to be our golden boy. Right. 2023 season played out like a grim reality show of full sack attacks, a failing offensive line, a team that just can't get it together. But critics, Carolina Panthers fans, analysts alike, wasted no time to go ahead and throw the word bust out there. They threw that label on him, right? But an NFL analyst came out, Adam Branks. I don't know if y'all saw this. He's having none of it. He feels that Bryce Young, if you haven't go to NFL.com, he came out and he said that Bryce Young's one of his breakout candidates. Ryan's take, well, Young was just the unlucky guy who walked into a hot mess. And I think for all of us, some of us believe that too. Because, yes, it was a rocky rookie year, right? First NFL season, his stats was 179.8 passing yards per game. 11 touchdowns, 100 or 10 interceptions, right? That can tell a story of a quarterback under siege, right? The O-line, setting one of the a record with 62 sacks, right? Which is tough. What's up, D Perkins? Appreciate you joining the live stream, man. What's up? But Young was practically a human pinata last year. Am I wrong? I mean, he was practically a human pinata last year. Okay? A human pinata. But you know, people are out there comparing Young to CJ Stroud in Houston, like comparing apples to oranges. You know, Stroud thrived, right? He had way more sport, whether you believe that or not. I mean, even Adam Rank from the NFL.com, again, go read that article that he wrote about this. But basically, he even said that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't even have shined in this dumpster fire of a team. Right? Now we've got Dave Canales, this new head coach, with a rep for turning quarterback fortunes around. Remember what he did in Baker Mayfield to Tampa, Geno Smith in Seattle. Yeah. I think now, again, I told y'all, and that's why I wanted to hype up this coaching staff and Canales a little bit today. They're here to work that magic on Young. Focus on the basics, build a culture of grit and curiosity, right? Another person, Bucky Brooks, from NFL.com, also has him as one of those breakout candidates, right? And he came out and said that he's betting on Canales' ability to bring that quarterback-friendly tactics. They beefed up the offensive line. He thinks that Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt, plus the fresh receiving core, it's clear that we're all in on protecting Bryce Young, our prized possession, basically, right? So I'm not expecting miracles right away. But there is that buzz of curiosity, there is that buzz of cautious optimism, right? We've seen the early workouts. There has been some promised chemistry between Young and Canales. Obviously hinting a potential breakthrough now. It's all about turning that promise into an on-field success, right? Right? Young's drive and work ethic are key. And I think Canales loves the obsessive focus on technique and his hunger to learn every nuance of this offense. This brainy approach could be what transforms him from a battered rookie into a shining star. This is a high stakes game, man. We're betting on Bryce big time, right? The reflection of this offseason shopping spree. Right? They built a stronger offensive line. They added more firepower in that wide receiver room to give this kid every chance to shine. But with great investments come with great scrutiny. You are a top draft pick. Young is under a microscope in this quarterback-centric league. Okay? The defense might have its own growing pains. All eyes will be glued to Young's performance. If he can pull it together, show that resilience he had in college, they might be able to flip the script here. But another rough season, then that could stir up even more doubts about his future as our franchise quarterback. The bottom line here is, guys, is that Bryce Young's story is we're just in chapter 2, right? Hopefully there's more chapters to this book of Bryce Young. First, chapter 1 was a rocky rookie year. I think I perfectly explained that to you guys multiple times on here. Now you have a new head coach steering this ship, revamp the supporting cast. There's a real chance for a major comeback for this kid, for sure. This season will be a big test for Bryce Young. It's a shot to silence all the critics and prove that he's the real deal, right? The spotlight is firmly on Bryce Young heading into, prepping for our season opener against New Orleans, right? Bryce Young's rookie struggles to potential breakout star is something that sports legends, that's what sports legends are made of, these comeback stories. So one thing's for sure, can chapter 2 of Bryce Young's story, can it be this year that he becomes and finally breaks out? Can he potentially be that guy? Can chapter 2 can chapter 2 of his book be breakout year, right? Can that be the name of chapter 2? That's my question to you guys. Can he become that breakout? Can that be it? I mean, you can go and look at, we can go look. I think I can look up Peyton Manning's. Let me see if I can look up his. No, I don't think you can look him up. Let's go look at Peyton. So you say that. Let's go look at Peyton Manning's rookie year. Peyton Manning's rookie year. Okay. 98, 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. Okay. Let's go look. All right. Let's go look at Trevor Lawrence. $3,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, right? That's rough too. Right? And then you go look at, so the yardage, see, the thing is that Trevor and Peyton both threw for over 3,000 yards. I think that a lot of people will argue there, right? Okay, but Bryce threw for only, he was 133 yards behind, but threw 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, right? Well, was sacked 62 times. How many times was Peyton Manning sacked in his rookie year? All right. $22. Okay. Let's go look at Trevor Lawrence's. How many times did he sack? 32 times. So there's a difference there in the sack situation. Right? So there's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference there when we look at that, when we look at those rookie years. I mean, the sacks. Interceptions, less than both of them. Right? Bryce also missed a game. So he played one less game than those guys did. I think he's poised to have a breakout year, guys. I just think it's going to come down to, can this offensive line hold up? And can Bryce Young step into his throws and not be on his tippy toes? Because that's when the erratic throws happen. Y'all know that. Breakout season would be nice, but I just want to see improvement and I'm good. Yeah. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So to you guys, though, like D. Perkins, Marcos, Jen, whoever else is here, Vietnam, Mad Chatter, Conbread, who else is in here? Maybe Doug is still in here. I don't know. Panthers World, if you're still in here. Whoever's in here, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Twitter, wherever you're at, put in your stat line for Bryce. that you would say that that is an improved year? Because see, for me, Bryce Young throwing for over 3,500 yards, 20 plus touchdowns, and I would say, you know, I still predict 11, 12 interceptions. You know, I think that's an improved year for sure. You know, I still think that's an improved year. And it's very doable. Now, again, they are going to run the ball a lot, but the running the ball definitely opens up the pass. Right? So, for me, I don't think, I think that it's a potential to break out for sure. But I'm right. I'm with D Perkins on this. I think that we just all want to see improvement and progress. And I think a stat line for Bryce Young for having over 3,500 yards. So if he can throw for 35 plus 100 yards, and even if he throws more than that, like 36 or 37 or 38, or even if he reaches the 4,000 mark, and if he does, great. But I think 3,500 yards, 20 plus touchdowns, and 12 interceptions is definitely an improvement in progress. And it's unfortunate. It's just like I said earlier, where Fate Nom said, 6 wins is an improvement. It is an improvement. It's just unfortunate that we have to accept mediocrity but that's because we're coming off a 2-15 season. It'd be different if we went 6 wins last year or 5 wins last year and said, okay, an improved year is 8 wins or 9 wins. Okay, that's not, that would be, I would be way more happy with that. But unfortunately, we're in the situation that 6 wins is good, and it's so unfortunate that we're in that situation. So, guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. It's glad to be back. Unfortunately, I've been sick, but I was glad that I was able to go live today this afternoon for you guys. So I'm gonna try to continue these noon lives from here on out. I really think noon is just best. So I'm gonna try to continue those. So guys, make sure you pound the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. And of course, feel free to join me or follow me on any of my social media. Don't forget about our sponsorship, betus.com. Make sure you go check them out. All right. Sign up for free today. You get 125% bonus on your first bet. And feel free to join the Discord. It is for free. All right. It's a great way to communicate with me and everybody of this channel. And if you want to take it a step further, become a member today. All right. But no one's forcing you to. So I just appreciate the love and support. Appreciate everyone that's here and comes into the live and gets in the chat because I love chatting with you guys. So feel free to get in the chat in the comment section every time I go live. So appreciate it. Shout out to you guys. Love y'all. As always, y'all know what to do. Make sure you keep pounding. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.